Welcome back to Luna Rosa Ranch. We are doing an update on drama today, but here is a photo of Chili wearing the Bosal Hackamore. So this is what we are going to try out on drama today to try to help her with her anxiety related to being ridden and using the bit. So this is a rawhide Bosal, not a wire-based one or rope-based one. It's the traditional style. So I start out the session by going through the ground rules and making sure that we understand how to do the same thing we do in every single warm-up. Can we stop and stand still without her wanting to walk off on her own? And I've done it hundreds of thousands of times at this point. It's just something you have to be super consistent with. And then, obviously I do other warm-ups and stuff, but we jump right into showing you that we have definite improvement with the mouth gaping at the trot. So it is still happening, but I don't think that that is worth being too concerned about. This is the same, it reminds me a lot of the therapeutic instruction I'm receiving in university. So I'm in school right now at Colorado Christian University for a Master of Arts in Clinical Mental Health Counseling. And although we can see that she was doing some gaping of her mouth and that tension behavior in the beginning, here we make it, I think, the whole way around the circle now. Now she starts to relax, and we make it the whole way around the circle without any of that behavior. She starts to settle in. So I think that is awesome. Right now in school, I'm doing SMART goals in my treatment plans for seeing different clients, and a SMART goal is something that is specific, measurable, attainable, what's the R? Realistic. There we go. Realistic and time bound. So for her, I think a SMART goal is not, can we eliminate it entirely? I don't think that's realistic in the short term. I think it is realistic in the long term. I think we have already seen it become eliminated from the walk work, and it used to exist at the walk work. So she has made huge improvement, and I don't want to just skim past that. But I think her goal for the near term would be something like to reduce the amount of anxiety behaviors observed per session at the trot from near constant to 3 times per session. And then that will be the goal that we'd have for the next month, and then we could revisit and see how she's doing with that. And I think once we get to where she isn't exhibiting the symptoms at all at the trot, then she's ready to move on to a different goal, which could be, can she now do it at the lope or the canter? So, and also the next step from that might be, can we do it with all the arena doors open and distractions happening outside? So there's lots of ways to go. There's way more that we can add onto her plan, but right now I'm super thrilled that although it's still happening, the amount of time it is happening is significantly reduced. So I suspect that in her racing career, the amount of pressure she had to contend with the bit in her mouth likely led to some airway restriction. It's just a theory, but I would imagine that the pressure on her tongue would have added some airway constriction, and I think that her trauma response could very well be related to fear of not being able to breathe. And then with horses, if they have obstruction in their airway, it can lead to bleeding. And if they need to spit or swallow, because the gag reflex is enabled while that pressure is happening while they're running, some of the spit can go down their larynx instead of into their gastrointestinal system. And it's, obviously getting spit into your lungs is abrasive, and it can make you want to cough, and it's not a fun experience. So I suspect that there might be some of that happened to her. But nonetheless, we're working through letting her know that it doesn't always have to be like that. There is another way. It can be relaxing to go out and work with the human. And I added these trot poles, and we did them at lunging first, obviously, to make sure she was comfortable with them, and she was not, so I'm glad that we did that. But I think the trot poles are a great addition to add in as well, because it gives her something for her mind to think about other than just what we're doing on the circle. So we saw she mouthed a little bit, and then she stopped, and then she would mouth a little bit, and then she would stop. And I think it is unrealistic to expect her to just stop entirely, like I said. So I think she is doing very, very well. She is being responsive. She's trying her very best, and she's learning how to cope with that stress, which is awesome. And we do a nice back up. She gets a little bit soft, and happy with that. And you can see her start still mouthing even when I get off. So it's a behavior she's done for a long time. So it is going to be interesting. And honestly, it wasn't even when I first started working with her. It wasn't like it was just under saddle. She was doing it in the cross tie. She was doing it while being led if she got stressed out, just a lot of the time. But she has definitely improved a great deal, and we are happy to see it. Happy for her, and stay tuned for next time.